we're live. This week's episode of Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you in part by the sweltering summer heat that just makes your balls so hot that when you go through a TSA airport scanner, you set off the whole scanning machine because swamp ass apparently sets those things off, I read this week. Hola, como esta, bienvenidos en biblioteca. Welcome back to Here's What I Don't Get, from north to south, east to west, the only intercontinental podcast to tackle all of life's toughest issues and the longest consecutively running podcast on the See You Next Tuesday podcast network. I am your host, Tab Burt, coming to you live from the most dangerous city in America, St. Louis, Missouri. And it's your favorite uncle from way down south of the equator. That's right. El Chaco.
Hola, mi enchilada! Man, we had so many close calls where we were actually almost going to do the show, and then weren't able to do it. But now we can. This is nice. We got a lot to catch up on. But before we get into this, because we are a little late, just a little late. As you all know, I am I'm a wrestling guy, a wrestling fan, and a good chunk of the reason why I am a wrestling fan is because I grew up in the 80s as a child watching the immortal Hulk Hogan, the Real American, the yellow and red, the 24-inch pythons. Before we get into this, I asked Tab if he was okay with this, if we could do what we do in the wrestling industry proper when somebody dies. And this one is just too big to let go. So without further ado, we're going to pay our respects to the immortal Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, and to his family who he's left behind, by giving the 10-bell salute. All right. And without further ado, we miss you, brother.
Did you see that cloud formation that formed over his
funeral?
Yeah,
that is
some wild shit.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And I mean, we're over the next little while, we're probably going to hear a little bit more about the wildness about his death. Like, I'm hearing a lot about some pretty wacky foul play type stuff coming from an interview with his daughter, who he was estranged from in the end. And we can get into that later when we get more details on it. But for now, I am really glad I got a chance to get into this business. And I probably wouldn't have if not for that man making it into the height that he took it to. So,
yeah.
So good on you. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. So you've been traveling around. You had some swamp ass at the airport. That's what's going on?
No, that was a rejected news story that I read. No, I've been so July 10th, I got a phone call from this production company in town. They're like, "Hey, can you build our set? The show loads in 22 days. The set that has to be built and loaded in, and it has this curved staircase."
Yeah,
which staircases are really hard, and curved staircases are even harder and
harder. Yeah.
So I went ahead and agreed to do it, and I built this set. Like, went and sat down here and did all the shop drawings and sent them along for approval, and then worked a week in the scene shop building the thing with a couple of guys, painted it. We got the build done 3 days early. Yes. And then we put it in. And from this experience, I can tell you this. I absolutely will never take over as technical director for a show that had a previous technical director ever again. And I will never take a show that only gives me like days to do all their stuff. So we get to load in, and because of all the different like versions of paperwork and stuff that was discussed with this original technical director, this platform that's on the back side of this set is supposed to be fully sitting on a show deck platform that's 8 inches off the ground. But the platform layout they gave me didn't account for going that far upstage. So we have to shift it about 1.5 feet further downstage, which makes the staircase now end basically right at the very lip of the stage. And so the drawings that I were given of this bridge was that it was at 8 feet. And when we get to load in and start putting the thing together, it's not at 8 feet. It's at 8'6" above an 8-inch platform. So my stairs are 18 inches too short for where they're supposed to be. So I ended up having to rebuild the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. And lost a day of load in. So I had to spill into a third day of load in. So while this is all going on, the Monday of last week, the AC starts not working so good because it's been miserably hot here. And then, but overnight it starts cooling off a little bit. So Tuesday I leave to load this show in, and I turn the thermostat up just a little bit, thinking like maybe if it's a little higher, it won't have as hard of a time. I get home Tuesday evening from this load in. It's about 7:45, 7:50, and it is 93 degrees in my house. So I do the thing that you do. Home Depot is going to close in 10 minutes. I can't get to Home Depot in 10 minutes. So I go to Walmart.com and I'm like, I just need to find a window unit, pop it in the window, call my landlord and have them come fix this. Go to Walmart.com, find a window unit. It's in store, but I can't go pick it up. It can only be done with this express delivery, like 45 to 50 minutes, and someone will bring it to me. And it's like, fine, it'll be hot for an hour, but I'll get an AC unit. So about 10 minutes later, my phone goes off that this AC unit is not actually available at the store that's there. So I call the Walmart number to talk to a person, and I get through Indian lady right away. Not a good sign. I'm hot and sweaty from being like indoors but outdoors all day, and then my house is hot, and it's just like I'm just irritated.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the phone with her, and I'm like, "This is unacceptable. I need an AC unit. What store has one in stock? And I'll just go get it. I'm not going to do this bullshit." Because they're like, "Oh, we can deliver it to you, but tomorrow at 3." Like, tomorrow at 3, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
And so while I'm on the phone with her, she's like, "Oh, I can't look and see what store stocks is." And I'm like, "Well, then why do you even fucking exist?" And I say, "Okay, fine then. Just cancel the order, refund me my money, and I'll go to some other store." And then an alarm goes off on my phone, and I go to cancel that alarm, but I inadvertently hung up the phone call. And I'm like, this is after I sat through this whole phone tree of talking to a robot and just being like, talk to a person, talk to a person, talk to a person. It's like, I understand you want to talk to a person, but what specifically do you want to, like, I'm going to fucking drive to Arkansas and start killing everyone. So phone call gets hung up. I'm like, I can't sit through this whole fucking phone tree bullshit again. I'm just going to go. So I go on Target.com. I find a Target that's 2 Targets that are equidistant away from me in opposite directions that claim to have a window unit.
Okay.
Just any window unit. Don't care. Just I need something I can pop into the window and make my bedroom livable.
Mm-hmm.
So I drive to the one, and I figure it's about like 8:15. I'm leaving the house now. I figure I have just enough time to get to that Target, find the aisle that it fortunately says right there on the website. It's in, B12. Go to the aisle, see if they're lying to me, and hopefully hopefully having just enough time to get in my car and get to the other Target. And at that
Mhm.
point, it's 9 o'clock and I am absolutely fucked.
No.
I'm like checking into a motel level of fucked. So I get to that Target, B12. They got 2 units, buy it, put it in the cart, get it home. I get home about 8:45-ish, put the window unit in. By the time I go to bed just before midnight, it's under 90. It's like 87, 88 degrees in my room, which is still awful. And so then I get, the next morning I wake up, it's down to 80. By Thursday morning, it is like 68 in my room and very uncomfortably cold. And I'm like, that's fine. We're just going to deal with that. Finally, Friday, the HVAC guy gets over early in the morning, gets it all fixed. AC's back to working. Thursday, I'm on an additional day of this load in that wasn't supposed to happen, like buttoning it up and just ready. Like as soon as I finish all this stuff, I get to go home and not think about this show ever again. Not actually true, but that was my hope in life. So I'm like working and my phone goes off and it's a bank alert of a deposit for $400 something, which is not what the AC unit costs. The AC unit costs about $200. And then the tip and the delivery and everything is like $220, $225, something like that. And I'm like, why is there a deposit of $400 from Walmart.com in my, what is this? So then I just quickly search my transaction history on my card, and it's the last Walmart.com order was like the end of May or the end of April, beginning of May, when I bought my new grill for $407 and 65 cents or whatever it was. So what this Indian woman that was on the phone at Walmart, when I was like, fuck you, refund my money, and then accidentally hung up, I thought she would just been like, well, fuck that guy, and hung up her phone. But instead, she apparently went to my orders, couldn't refund the AC unit because it hadn't actually charged. It never actually charged to my card. It just sat in pre-auth for a few days. And so she was like, well, I guess I'll refund the last thing. So I ended up with a free grill out of this whole debacle. The AC unit does not fit into my bedroom window correctly.
Of course not.
Because I have like a storm window that sits up like an inch and a half higher than my windowsill. So it was just kind of cobbled into the hole and then held there with like random shit balanced underneath it and some stuff up against it. So I was like, I got no fucking use for this AC unit. So I boxed it up and took it back to Target. Very, very much like the 64% of St. Louis population. I figured they're going to give me a hassle about it. No questions. Put the thing down. You returning this? Yep. Didn't even ask why. Didn't even open the box. I could have filled the fucking thing with bricks. Like, well,
but that would have been dishonest. So that's awesome.
I guess I got I borrowed an AC unit from Target for, 3 days until my
and got a free grill
again. And I got a free grill, which was like, it's like, the karmic justice has finally turned back around.
Oh no, Walmart's stock is going to go down because of this. It's going to crash everything because of that one.
Yeah, the funny thing is, so the last time I bought a grill, I talked about it on the show, way back in the low 100s. I bought a grill from Walmart. It was a I don't even remember what brand. I think it was a Walmart brand grill. This one's a Charbroil. But when I bought it, there was a whole kerfluffle because I was trying to get checked out at the regular checkout and not the self checkout because I needed a can of propane.
Yep.
And so then this woman's like, "Oh, you can check out over here," and walks me over to the self checkout, but then starts scanning my stuff at the self checkout like you can't, like a cashier. And I was like, "What is going on?" But at one point during the process of buying this grill, because I bought like the grill and some accessories, I went into the meat section and got a package of meat and I set it on top of the grill. So it was like above the eye line, and I totally forgot about it until I took it out to the car and took the grill off the cart, and this package of meat goes flop on the ground. And I was like, oh, that should really be a promotion at Walmart. It's just like, you buy a grill, you get a pack of steaks. Well, now I ended up with a free grill from Walmart again. I just keep fucking them over. And it's like, how many more times am I going to screw this mega corporation and not feel an ounce of guilt about it?
Oh, man. Well, it's funny about your your air conditioning situation. Because okay, wait, I'm gonna back up for a second. Captain Carl, you still there? Yeah, you're still there. He wants a CPAP update, right?
Yeah, let me go. There's the comment.
All right. For the last 6 months. So my CPAP, every so often, the heating unit on it shorts out, partially because like water gets into the thing, and I've had to get. There's this like one guy in Asuncion that is an American that's down here that knows how to fix them. So I gotta go. So my heating unit goes down on it, and prior to this, and when the heating unit doesn't work, you can't get any vapor through it. So it's like breathing in, like basically like breathing in through like a hair dryer. It's like really dry air when you do it that way. So, anyways, I go to I got to go set up an appointment in Asuncion to go and take my machine in to go get it fixed. So I'm like getting ready to go and book this, but I had to wait until the end of the week. So this is like last Friday. But on the Thursday, I'm trying to book the appointment with the guy, and we've been having a little bit of issues with my. We have been having some issues with my van for a while. So the radiator, like the temperature gauge, had gone off, and when we had gone on a trip, I ended up having to open it up and go figure out what's going on. And I stupidly opened up the radiator when like I turned when the pressure was high. So I ended up blowing steam like all over the place, and like the cap went flying and all that kind of stuff. So I filled the radiator back up, thought everything was fine, took it back home, thought everything was fine. It ran fine after that. The air conditioning was working fine after that. But then like a couple days later, we're going down to church and the temperature gauge comes back on again. I'm like, crap. Like, this is probably a serious thing. So we pull over, fill the thing again, go to mass, come back. Don't hardly use the van for a while. Go and use it again like 4 days later. I got to go down to town, and I check the radiator. It's full, right? Like the water's full on this. So I'm like, okay, everything's fine. I go down to town. I'm sitting in, like, I go to the grocery store, and then I'm sitting there trying to get this CPAP appointment for the next day set up, and I'm finally getting that confirmed. So I turn around to go home, and I hear a little bit of clicking noise, right? A little bit of clicking noise. And you know what? Like, you drive enough vehicles, you know that like there's like a clicking noise that's like something stuck under the vehicle, something's rattling, but there's some of those clicking noises which is like, oh, this isn't good, right? So I like call my wife. I'm like, yeah, I might stop by the mechanic's place on the way because this ain't good. Like I'm hearing a clicking noise, and she's like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's not a good clicking noise." Sure enough, I get to the bottom of the big hill that I got to go up to go home, and the check engine light comes on. I'm like, crap. So I pull over, call my guy. He comes down with my truck and the mechanic. The mechanic take a look at it. They open it up. They look at the radiator, bone dry. Okay. All right. So maybe I got like a leak or something like that. He's looking at it. This is like the assistant to my main mechanic. And he's like, this doesn't look good. This might be like a blown head gasket or something like that. I'm like, crap. And I had just booked this appointment, and I need my CPAP fixed. I got to go and take a whole day off of work. I got to drive in Asuncion and get this thing. And I got a blown head gasket probably. So I can't take my van. I got to take my pickup truck, which has electrical issues, which means its AC is not working. Oh. The radio's not working. I go in to check the lights because, like, if you get caught with your lights not on the highway, you're getting a serious fine, buddy. So I go and I turn on my lights because, like, we haven't even bothered to turn on the lights on the truck for a while because we're always going on these like crappy roads back here, and we're always using it in the day. So I turn them on. One light's out. Can I go and get those fixed to the thing? No, Mahindra, no. You need to get a whole other special light for it. Okay, well, I turn on the high beams. Do both of them work when I put on the high beams? Yeah. Okay, I'm gone. I'll be fine. So I'm driving with no AC, no air conditioning unit. Normally takes me under 2 hours to get to Asuncion, but for whatever reason, I'm hitting all the traffic in the world, and it takes me darn near 3 hours to get there, and I barely make it in time for my appointment to drop off my CPAP machine. So I drop it off. I go to kill time. Usually it takes him about a couple of hours to fix it. Not this time. No. This time it took him 6.5 hours to fix the thing. So I'm killing the day at the mall. I don't have like a hotel room to go and chill at. I go to my buddy's house. My buddy's one of those like bachelors who his house is not in a state that you would bring a girl home to.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, you haven't cleaned it properly, thoroughly for quite a while, and it has a bit of a smell. But I'm there, I'm chilling, I'm hanging out with him, trying to kill time, waiting. And I'm looking at the time. I'm like, this thing's gonna get finished right at rush hour, isn't it? And then sure enough, right at rush hour. So I go with my truck, I go get the CPAP from the guy, I hit it in the road, it's 4:15. I start driving back. I hit every bit of traffic all the way. Now, this normally under 2-hour drive, it took me, I didn't get home until 8:45.
Wow.
So, yeah.
It was like a 14-hour day.
Yeah. And I left in the morning at 8 a.m. Right. So I then go, I'm on my way home. And keep in mind, this is like the first Friday of the month. So with my credit card at this certain store that we get a bunch of our supplies at, I get a 20% discount, which is significant. And usually what it is I go with a list and we get like all the like, stuff we need for the month, just like sauces and pastas and toilet paper and, just like a bunch of milk and, like I load up. So I'm like trying to figure out, I'm like, do I go to Paraguay? Do I go to the right? But then I have to go over all these speed humps the long way. And it might take me a little while to get there. And there's only one of this biggie store along the way that I can go to. And I've been hating my truck all day because I like driving standard, but like after a long day of driving and just constantly stoppy-starty, a standard
gets tiring.
Transmission gets real tiring. So I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at the time at this point in time. It's like 6:45. I know there's this stop with the cops that they just set up camp there. That's them all the time. And they basically still pull you over and find a reason why to give you a fine. Right. But I'm like, there's no way. It's Friday night at 6:45. They probably stopped at 6 o'clock. I'm going to go that way and hit the place so I can hit this other biggie on the way. I pay the toll to go through. I get around the corner. Bam. There's the cop, pulls me over to the side. And I'm like, I'm fine. He's just going to check my license and check my registration because I've got my high beams on. I've got both of these things working. It's fine. Nope. No, no, it's not fine. And it's a 430,000 guarani, which is about a $70 ticket. But I don't need this right now because I was going this way to save that at the store. So he's like, and of course, like just like clockwork, he's like, the office is closed. I can't print you up a ticket. It'll just have to email to you, or you could settle it for now here for 100,000 guarani. It's like $20. Just take the $20 and off I go. So I go up the hill. I go to the store that it never has anybody in it when I go there. Sure enough, place is packed. One till open. Get through the thing. Get to the front. And this is like one till open. There's nobody there to pack my bag for me. There's no bag boy or nothing. And I got to unload my big load of groceries. And then I got to like pack it again, pay it. Meanwhile, behind me, everybody in line is just steaming, waiting for me to get the hell out of there. I load it back into a shopping cart, go and take it back to the truck. And it just starts rolling because the parking lot is like on a steep angle. So I'm like holding it there, trying to get this stuff into the back of my truck. I'm like, screw it. I throw it in there in the back kind of haphazardly. Take the cart back because I'm a good person. And then I go and I drive back the rest of the way because I'm still another hour away from my house at this point. I get on the road. I get finally to this last other town called Piribibui, which generally speaking, is not fun to drive through. But anyways, I get through it. I'm just coming down the hill into it. And what has happened? A fucking cat runs in front of my truck, like 10 feet in front of me. I have no time to stop. I hit the brakes. I hit the cat.
Oh,
The groceries come flying from the back to the front all the way through. Sure enough, as well, by this point, the high beams, only one of them is working. And when I go back to the normal, both are working. What the hell? That wasn't the way it was this morning. That's why I got the ticket. So I got home and like my wife was following me on like live location or WhatsApp the whole time. And so she thought like I'd be home any minute now. But no. I was going to take over 2 times as long to get home as normal. And I had no radio. I had no air conditioning. I was miserable. I was so mad. And I finally got my van like coming back to me tomorrow. But that was Friday, and we haven't gone anywhere or done anything really since. Like we went to mass on Sunday, but other than that, okay. So back to the CPAP. Carl, the CPAP works like a dream. It's great, and I can't wait to get a brand new one at some point in time that doesn't require that stupid system that gets done. But yeah, that's my shitty Friday. Because we were gonna do something in between, but then I've been like constantly having to deal with that, and like because like we weren't even sure if we were gonna get rid of the van because like if it was like a blown head gasket, I was like, I'm gonna get it fixed and then like pawn it off as quickly as possible and move on to a different one. So I was like organizing that all week, and then finally I get the word from the mechanic today. He's like, no, it's actually not that bad, and you don't owe me that much to fix it. I'm like, oh, fantastic.
That's good.
But yeah, so you want to get into some issues?
Yeah, let's get into some issues. What's your first issue this week?
Here's what I don't get. Women's sports. Yeah, this one's going to be a tough one because it hits close to home, and I'm not critiquing athletes. Like my mom was an athlete, and she was like a champion track runner, and like my sister played like high levels of like fast pitch or slow softball. Yeah. And that's all good. Like, I mean, like in like high school levels, that's fine and stuff like that. But like, have you been following this bullshit with the WNBA?
I've gotten some of it through osmosis, which is shocking because, I don't care about sports. So why am I hearing about it?
Well, and the reason you're hearing about it is because it's absolute clown show.
Oh, like, yeah.
It's absolute clown show. So they got this Angel Reese, who's like kind of like their second most publicized player behind Caitlin Clark, who's like their Michael Jordan or whatever.
But she's white, so they hate her.
Well, they beat her up all the time until they got this other white gal on her team called Sophie Cunningham, who's like based. I think. I don't know. I don't follow it enough to care. All I know is that she sticks up for her friends. But like, or her teammates, but they started to whine. This Angel Reese started to whine. She's one of these like these black ladies who brags like crazy, but doesn't have enough to back it up, because nobody cares about your sport.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your sport. And she's like, we're going to go on strike. We're going to walk if you guys don't pay us what we're worth. It's like, you're worth negative. Do you understand that? You're worth negative. You are a net loss to one of the most profitable professional sports leagues on the planet. And you're a net loss for that.
What I love is people like my mom will be like, the WNBA should be paid as much as the NBA. And it's like, well, when's the last time you watched a WNBA game, Mom? Never. Yeah, like me either. But the thing is, like, I understand that the NBA gets a ton of viewers. And, if
it's
you
called
want
economics.
If you want, mid-rise in the arena seats for the Lakers or whomever, you're paying like $100. If you want tickets to a WNBA game,
they'll pay you to be there.
They top out at $30, and a lot of times it's special, and you can get like floor seats for $30.
Where you can throw a dildo onto the court, because that's the new thing that they're doing now. Is
Dude,
that like people are so I'm into this.
I want to go bet a bunch of money and then sneak a dildo and toss it on because they're betting on what
the color is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you can go and like throw everything on blue and then bring a
Yeah,
blue one and
then
throw it in.
throw a blue one, and
Yeah.
then yeah.
But this isn't just basketball. This is a trend that's been going on for quite a while. Soccer. That Megan Rapinoe. Remember that? Remember that lady?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I deserve this. I deserve this. And they constantly, what is it about female athletes that don't understand economics, supply and demand? There is no demand.
Yeah.
There are only two sports. There are only two women's sports that anybody gives about outside of the Olympics. All right? Tennis and beach volleyball. Right?
Well, even tennis, though, I think has died off with Venus and Serena Williams not being in it anymore.
Well, it's not necessarily. I think that the press coverage of it is less.
Mm.
I think because like that was the thing. Like you had Venus and Serena, who got all like, we think we can beat a 200 ranked man. I think that we could beat a 200 ranked man. And if you go and look this up, it's one of the best things because there was this. I think he was a Belgian player. And like he was like, I think he was ranked like 194 or 200 or something like that. And he had just played like a match, like a real match. And so they like challenged him and they thought this would be a fun little press event. And so he had just played a match. He chugged a beer and smoked cigarettes all throughout the match and destroyed them like 6-0, 6-1.
Well, it's like Megan Rapinoe's soccer team got beaten by like a boys varsity soccer team, and not like most soccer games where it's 2-1 or 1-0.
Yeah.
It was like, call this game. We gotta call this game. They're at like 7. This is not going well.
Well, this is the thing. Okay, so why do you pay big bucks? Why does somebody pay big bucks to go to a NBA game or to an MLB game or an NFL game? Why? Because these are in that sport the best, right? In the world. Even the worst player in the NFL is better than most players in any other thing, right? So like it's like the women's league, it's like semi-pro, but even the semi-pro dudes will kick their asses. It's biology. It's also, there's a weird thing about the biology of it. Did you know that like they did a study on this and they're like the higher up that these women go in these sports, it's like brutal on their like fertility. It's like brutal on their bodies in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to have your star player and she's going to throw out the whole thing. Like she can't take a mat leave, right? Like what are you going to do when she has kids? We have this in wrestling too. And it's like, I get it. There's some really good female wrestlers in wrestling, but they've been playing it off as if it's like completely equal and they're just as much of a draw. I'm sorry. They just aren't. They aren't, because you're not watching the best of the best, because they're the best women, but they're not the best of the best. And so if you're not watching the best of the best, what are you paying for?
Well,
and
with the sports thing too, it's a similar thing with media where, generally speaking, women aren't as interested in sports. There are the sports girlies out there for sure, but it's like a very male coded entertainment where it's war, it's brutal war.
Yeah.
And it's just abstracted into like, we have these rules and this is the battle, but it's my guys in gold and black are versus your guys in blue and white, and I want you dead, but in the rules of what is allowed, which is, it's like this, it's the male power fantasy. It's we all want to be big balls going out and stepping out to protect a woman's honor against 8 youths, and being able to, hold our heads high. And with the like women driven fantasy isn't of that. And so like their women will enjoy, the average woman sports fan is way less involved than the sub-average male sports fan.
Well, it's like the Marvels. It's like these
Yeah.
like these action films with these cartoon characters of these women that are like 5'2" who are beating the hell out of a 6'4", 200-pound man. And it's like, I don't buy it. I don't believe it. It's not the way the world works. It's not the way reality works. But you know how the world does work? Look at the studies. These women who go full blown on these sports, their biology changes. They stop having their period like in their like 20s. They like, and the worst too is they keep trying to cram it down your throat. Like the amount of like ex so-and-so player who's now like an announcer, like in Calgary, when I listen to the games on the radio, their color commentator is Megan Mickelson, who played for Team Canada and in hockey and played in the university leagues and stuff like that. It's like, and she talks about it all the time. It's like when I played, it's just like when I played. And it's like, it's not like when you played. You don't have full-blown hitting the way that the players do. You didn't travel. You didn't have an 82-game season the way the players do. You didn't play against the best of the best and the best. There are how many? It's like when I watch that FIFA, when I watch women's soccer, if it comes up and it's like Canada's got a shot at winning in that. And the United States has got a shot at winning in that. Why? Because like most countries in the world don't devote resources to these women's sports because there's no reason to. There's no reason to. You would really, they're better off having families if they're healthy people who are athletic. Then like that's probably a better situation. But it's weird. And then like you go into it and
go get married and raise some Division I babies.
Well, they're not having those babies in WNBA because they're lesbians, most of them. And the ones that aren't get discriminated against. And so it's like this really weird thing. And like your mom making that point, it's like, man, it's like the per capita thing. It's like, why can't you not understand supply and demand? Why can't we even like, because Rapinoe, the soccer players, the women's soccer players were doing the same thing as like your games. You don't sell out. You don't get the same advertising revenue because there's not as many eyeballs on the game. Nobody cares. Why don't you care? Oh, because you're just sexist. No, because it's not as good. Go watch the top women's soccer players. Watch when the goalie gets the ball in soccer. See how far that goalie can kick the ball. Can she get it to the half? Can she get it to the half field? No, she can't. None of them can.
Well,
watch the highlights of these things. It's crazy.
I see the WNBA clips of them just like rebounding. Rebound after rebound. It's like, that's like me playing basketball. No one wants to watch that.
It is. And so that's the thing. So that's my issue. My first issue is women's sports. Because
the other thing about women's basketball, this is something I learned through all this. They play with a smaller ball. It's the same size hoop.
Yep.
Play with a smaller ball, and the hoop is lower.
Yep.
And now they're talking about lowering it even more to a point where like I could dunk. And I'm completely, But again, it's like, okay, let's see a game with a bunch of guys, like me, moderately fit, not really well coordinated against some WNBA players and see how it goes. Because I feel like it's a good chance it doesn't go well for them.
So there's a reason I said women's tennis, and it's not the outfits. Okay? It's not the outfits. I prefer watching women's tennis to men's tennis. Do you want to know why?
Why?
They rally. Like, because if you watch men's tennis, like the most powerful servers in the world, there's so many aces in a game that you're going to get a lot less rallies. Whereas in women's tennis, they can return a serve. So you're going to get this back and forth of and that's just a little bit more exciting to watch than bam, and then it's it, right? Like it's cool, like if you're the guy serving, but like from a spectator's point of view, it's kind of like it's not as good, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they're the best in the world. Yes, they would destroy every other women's player there, but it's not as exciting to watch as the rallies that come from, like when I was a kid, it was like I really like the guys who would rally. Like I like Jimmy Connors and like Michael Chang, right? But like you don't get that as much these days, so it's not gonna be the same.
Again,
like
because it's
women's,
war. I have to just destroy you.
it has
I
to
have
be.
use everything that I have to destroy you. And if I can just serve it past you 3 times in a row and win the game, that's what I'm going to do.
Exactly. So it's like the same as like women's golf, LPGA, right? Like, okay, when you go playing golf with, have you ever gone playing?
No,
Never
no.
once.
But I know women's have tees that are slightly further forward.
Yeah, the red tees, they're way up. They're not slightly further, they're way up, right? And so there's like they're so far up enough that when you play with a group of guys, there's like a kind of like an unwritten rule that if you shank the ball and can't get it past the ladies' tees, you have to hit your next ball with like your pants down, right? To prove. And so it's this weird thing that I get, like the desire to compete, to be in competition. Like, I'm not saying women shouldn't recreationally play sports. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is quit trying to pretend that it's going to be a thing that we're all going to be on board for, that the only reason we haven't been into it is because we're sexist. Yes, we're sexist, but that's not the reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the reason. The reason is because it's not as good. It's just not as good. And that's it. So that's my issue.
That's a good issue. I don't watch women's sports the same reason I don't watch men's sports. I don't care.
It's fair. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
Yeah. Well, here's what I don't get. Gifted and talented. I feel like millennials were completely robbed of their what's the word? Like self-cognizance by elementary schools and middle schools offering gifted and talented programs where they take students and be like, you're special, you're really smart. The world is going to treat you nicely for being smart. And then they kind of like rug pulled you in high school and college, where it was like, it became a lot more obvious that no, we're only teaching to like the bottom quintile. And we're going to put you in these group projects with absolute morons where you're going to have to do everything.
All the work. Yeah.
And
drag them through.
It really like it ruins your brain at a young age to realize that everyone in the world is dumber than you or not applying themselves. And so you end up with either like one of two things that come out of these gifted and talented programs. You end up with like burnouts who they go like, oh, you're so bright, but why do you like act bad? It's like, because I'm bored to death. Or you end up with the students who are like become this super high overachiever where they have mayor.
They become on city council.
and then because they get really good at academia, the structure of academia, they end up at a point where there's nothing more they can do. So they either teach and like feed back into the system of being like, you're the best and brightest, you're going to be something someday. Like, well, what did you become? A high school teacher. Or they go into like a politics government kind of deal where they're just smarter than the average person sitting there watching Fox News. And that person's like, well, this person sounds really articulate, they must know what they're talking about, but they really don't. They think they do. They have no experience with like the real world and what's happening in life. And also what I think it's done is it's burnt. I'm trying to decide what would be better, right? Just like going, hey, to pulling aside the top 10% of students in the 5th grade and being like, hey, you're really smart. You're smarter than all the other kids in school. But listen, the world is geared to the absolute fucking dumbest people in your class. Who's the dumbest person in your class? That's who the world is geared to. Mm-hmm. This is like what you need to deal with. When in reality, what it should like.
Yeah, they should give you a reality check. I see what you mean. Like
a reality check.
Up.
Warning. Or they should take you completely out and separate you from those people and be like, hey, we're going to let you learn and do a thing at your own pace so that you can, go out and start changing the world. Like there was stories I remember as a kid of like kids skipping grades and and like the youngest kid to ever graduate from Stanford or Yale or something, like graduated at 14 years old, super genius. And then it's like, what's that guy doing now? Like, he's a crypto scammer. But the story you hear much more often is stuff about schools being like, yeah, we changed our whole grading curriculum. And now, 24% is a D and a passing grade. And you're like, are you out of your fucking minds?
We should.
Can we not, like, we've reached such a point where being average is gifted and talented and not like being actually exceptional. And so it's just a lie. It's just like a lie that's fed to you. Like, you're special, you're great, you're smart, you're going to do great things. It's like, no, you're going to go to college and get some fucking fucked up bullshit degree. And then they're going to rug pull you when telling you to go get a STEM degree. You're not going to actually be able to go become a computer programmer because Microsoft laid off 6,000 people, Americans, and brought in 9,000 H-1B visas out of India who can't even fucking speak the language or wipe their own ass, which is why every fucking Microsoft program is absolutely worthless now. Windows 7, great. Windows 8, kind of mediocre. Windows 10, fine enough. But it's just been like this fucking nosedive as they just like, we got to send more of our outsourced stuff to India and bring in Indians to come do these fucking jobs. We've got a lot of gifted and talented students here in America. Why don't we, I don't know, fucking employ them and they can gifted and talented their asses up in India and maybe they can figure out how to clean up their own fucking rivers and keep people from jumping in front of fucking trains. Maybe that's what we should do. But no, you're going to go to college. You're going to go get some fucking giant ass college expensive degree in STEM because you're this fucking bright, gifted and talented person. And then when you graduate, you're going to use ChatGPT to apply for 300 jobs a day and not hear back from fucking one of them because the employer that has posted this job either A, is not hiring anyone for that job. It's just out there to be like, we're always hiring. We need more government money. Or B, they're filtering your application through an AI that's like, oh, you're white? Nope. You're a man? Yeah. Nope. You're an American that wants to be paid a living wage and not work 80 hours a week? Nope. And so it's just like, no, we shouldn't have these fucking programs. We should treat all of our fucking students like they're going to go out and become burger flippers because that's what boomers want you to do.
Well, can't you make like 80 grand a year working at Panda Express or whatever?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of generational resentment in the millennial generation is how much fucking dick sucking schools and teachers did about how you're the future, you're going to be bright, and all that's like in the 90s and the early 2000s. Every school turned into a magnet program.
They were doing it in the 80s,
and a special technology school for this, and you got to apply for your like prestigious college prep high school so you can get into your prestigious Ivy League of the Midwest college. And all it did was rug pull you on. Now you live in a world where you can't even fucking get a job that pays a decent wage. And they're like, we spent our whole fucking high school career being like, if you don't buckle down and pay attention to English class, you're going to end up flipping burgers or managing a Panda Express. And they're like, hey, what are you too fucking good to work at Panda Express? Hey, how about fuck you? My IQ is way higher than you. If anyone should be working at Panda Express, it's you.
Well, and the thing is that you're totally right about the whole like race to the bottom. Like,
yeah,
like I was at when I was in elementary school, I got pulled out to do this Ed Plus program, which is like a sort of like a GATE program or something. And like they could have done it different. They had a heads up. They know that you're doing like ahead of the rest of them. This happened to me when I was in grade 4. It's like they had a heads up, but no. They had to do it in this stupid way where they send the guidance counselor or lady from the I don't know if I think she was from the library or something. And they come and where are my Ed Plus students? And like knock on the door and like, let's get you guys coming with us. Like say goodbye to your classmates. And then you like go and your classmates are sitting there going like, I'm going to kick your fucking ass at recess.
It builds a resentment then. And then there's a competitive thing, that like war that's built into all of us of like, how come this fucking kid gets to skip math class and go play in the library? They have no fucking idea what you're doing.
Meanwhile, you go to the library and you're doing like, you're doing some puzzles and you're doing some like problem solving stuff, but they're also basically scanning you to see if you're like CIA material down the road or something like that. Like they're just figuring out like, okay, is this like somebody we should be following the career of or not?
He's extremely non-compliant. We're not following him.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like I think so when it came down for me, it was like, okay, I can go over here and do a mildly less boring thing, but get my ass kicked at recess and not get invited to anybody else's birthday party. Or I can play dumb, not do I don't even have to play dumb. I just don't do my homework and get like late dock marks from all of my other things. And my marks will be like everybody else's and nobody will bug me again.
Yeah.
And that's how you figure it out. And then I got to university, right? Got scholarships, get into university. And then you're there and you're like, you ask people, you're like, does anybody ever, like in the real world, when you're getting employed, do they ever ask you, like, if you have a degree? And if they do they look up your transcripts to see your marks? No, nobody does.
No, because they have to pay money.
Yeah. So then I figured it out. I was like, no. Somebody said something along the lines to like, what do you call the guy who graduates at the bottom of his med school class? Doctor.
A dentist.
Yeah, exactly. So like
nowadays you probably call him like,
no, you call him doctor because he graduated. Yeah. Because he graduated from med school. He's a doctor. So, and then somebody else said you go to university, it's not the grades you make, but the hands you shake. Right. And so you get that mindset early on and you realize like, oh, this isn't what it's about. Right. Like all of this is government babysitting.
Yeah.
And the gifted and talented one is extra level government babysitting because they know that like at a certain point in time, the other thing about the gifted and talented kids is like, you're going to get the compliant ones and then you're going to get the non-compliant ones. Like you ever watch, you ever see that Chris, what's his name?
Chris Angel Mind Freak?
No. The smartest man in the world is this guy who was a bouncer and like a rancher, and his name's Chris something. Anybody in chat know who I'm talking about? You guy's got like a 200 IQ. Like he's like one of the highest IQs ever recorded. And so he like Chris, dang it. I even follow him on Twitter. I just don't have it on me right now. But, like you can tell from that guy, like he just figured it out early enough. Like go and make your money and do what you need to do. And then just like coast.
Langan.
That's who. Yeah. Christopher Langan. And he's getting in trouble all the time on Twitter because he's like, have you ever seen what he does? Not Chris Chan. you ever seen what Christopher Langan does? You should follow him because he's
a noticer.
He's such a noticer.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, man.
It's a lie. It's just like a lie that built up kids and then deflated them. And it feels very intentional. Like, the Department of Education is allegedly getting defunded. They fired half the staff. They need to fire the rest of them. And it's one of those things where I'm sure schools got a little bit more money for identifying these students. And then, kind of didn't do anything with it. Just, felt you out to see whether or not
No Child Left Behind thing, and that just like started the great inflation spiral.
Yeah, No Child Left Behind. I remember, I was at the best school in Oklahoma, one of the best schools in the nation during No Child Left Behind, and we had these tests like every 6 or 8 weeks or something like that.
Yeah,
just to make sure we were on hitting the metrics. And towards the end of the year, there'd be some students that'd be like, you don't need to come into school on this day because that's the day that the tests were all happening. And then there was me who was intentionally just fucking bombing those tests for his own entertainment. To the point where my senior year, we had to starting in the 5th grade in Oklahoma, you start taking these standardized tests for like English and reading is the big one. And the math, but in senior year of high school, so you end up taking it like multiple times. Senior year in high school, it was just English, or maybe I only took English because I didn't have a math class my senior year. I don't remember, but what I do remember is I went from being in the top 1% of the state to getting every single question wrong, which creates this graph that goes like, this kid is very, very holy shit. And then the next year, I shit you not, it was mandatory to pass that test in order to graduate high school.
Oh man, that you broke the system.
Changing state law. But I'm sure you look at the test and you're like, every single answer is wrong. Like, this is statistically impossible. There's no
Yeah.
way that someone could possibly do this unless he solved them all and then fucking put the wrong answer like an asshole.
Which you did.
Which I did. And my essay was all about how I was not complying with this test, and then you were going to have to fail me. And I like misspelled word because you had to write this whole fucking essay. And it was just this long, rambling essay about nothing and how much I hated the state of Oklahoma and the state of education, and like no punctuation, misspelled words. And I was like, you have to score this a 0. You have no other choice because this is not addressing your prompt, which is fucking stupid. Sure enough, came back big old fat 0. Fuck you, Booker T.
Oh man,
fuck you very much.
I remember one of the things too is like once I started to figure out what the bare minimum was, I started like taking I would find if I had an option, I had to take a certain amount of options. I would like purposely go and find ones that I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt would have no homework.
Yeah.
I knew at a certain point, like I was going to go into engineering. I did a year and a half in engineering, and I went and I looked and I was like trying to figure out what was my bare minimum to get into engineering. So I was like, I don't have to take biology, not taking biology. I'm going to take physics and chemistry because I have to take those to get into it. Okay, fine. And now I'm going to take social studies. I can take it was like social studies 30 or social studies 33, like the remedial one. So I like signed up for like the remedial social studies 33, and the teacher was like, so like it took her like a week to clue in, and she's like, okay, you don't need to be here, like just write the tests. Like, so she would send me to the library, and I would just go and chill out and read like magazines in the library during that, like, because we didn't have smartphones or anything then, but it was like I was just chilling. That was like my spare. I'd basically go check in. Yeah, I'm here. And then she'd be like, all right, see you later. And then I go back, and then I come back and ace the test and come back. And like the people in my class were like, I remember I had to like do like a group project. And she partnered me with one of the guys who, needed to be in that class. And I just remember he was like, I don't even know I didn't even realize you were in this class. And I was like, yeah, and I'm your partner. And he's like, oh man, this is going to be rough. I'm like, just don't worry about it. I'll do the whole thing. Let's just get out of this. And that's the thing. Like, you just realize like it does clue you in real quick. Like, there's a bell curve.
Yeah.
Right. There's a bell curve, and it's pulled. It's pulled.
I remember my mom that found that book at like a book sale and was like explaining
the bell curve.
She probably still has it because she bought it at a spite. So that
you should grab it because that's a banned book.
And she was explaining to me that it was bad, and I was like, oh, okay, yes, this is bad. This is probably middle school, so there's no telling where that book is anymore. But the next time I'm out there, I might look.
Grab it. I have a copy.
And now, as an adult man, I'm like, oh, that shit is probably fire. That is probably spot on explanation of the universe.
It's pretty good. And it does its best to even try to like explain itself. It's like, look, we know you've skipped to this chapter. we know why you skipped to this chapter, and we're going to give you the data on this, but we're going to preface it, and like I'm skipping all the prefaces. I'm like, just give it to me raw.
Yeah.
And it's there.
Raw data. Yeah. Well, that's my issue. Gift and talent.
Great issue.
Brings us to the middle of our episode, which means it's time for special people reports. These are reports from special people.
The gifted and talented people, or the other type of
the other kind. Yeah. The other side of the bell curve.
The other anchor.
I've got one here from Pennsylvania. Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania. A truckload of hot dogs spilled across the Pennsylvania interstate Friday after a crash that briefly clogged the heavily traveled artery in both directions. Crews were stuck with a job they did not relish, rolling up the scattered tube steaks for disposal. Once those leave the truck and hit the road, that's all garbage. The state police said the tractor trailer had an unspecified mechanical problem, and when the truck scraped along a concrete divider, the trailer was ripped open, and several tons of hot dogs were spilled across the the interstate,
I'm
blocking traffic for
disappointed that they
miles.
didn't cram a pun into every paragraph there, or every sentence should have at least had one pun.
Yeah, I started skipping them because I found them very annoying. 4 people were injured by hot dogs.
Yeah,
By
apparently they're
hot
slippery.
dogs.
They're like super slippery to like walk on.
They
It's
should have
like
brought out that guy
something out
that
of a
won the
cartoon.
Nathan's hot dog eating contest and been like, "All right, guys, fellas, this is your time. Clear the road." And it's just rah, rah, rah. Not even any buns on these bastards. Just cram them down, fellas.
How about her? What is it? Jimmy Chestnut, or what's the guy's name? I forget that.
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I've got one here from Germany.
Uh-huh.
Hamburg, Germany. Watching his dad make a brand new miniature train car look old, placing the wooden parts to weather it in the sun and rain, pulled Peter Martinez in the world of miniatures. He recalled his father, who had made model trains for collectors or hobbyists, wondering why anyone would pay him to do what he thought was the most fun part of the hobby. But luckily he did. The Argentine family business United Scale Arts is now partnering with Germany's Minotaur Wonderland, a museum that houses the largest model train set in the world, to develop a new exhibit depicting parts of South America, including the Amazon rainforest and Atacama Desert. But with miniature power comes great responsibility. So they're building miniature of South America so they can show like climate change being real and destroying all this stuff, which is really ironic because it's not real. It's a miniature land.
Yeah.
And
you can do whatever you want to
it. Yeah. You can make hey, this is how the Amazon would look if we weren't a bunch of assholes. But now it's like
you're not going to verify it.
Like one of those self-willing prophecy things, but also it feels very propaganda-esque to be like, we built this model of the rainforest being devastated. Like, well, but how does it actually look? Like, oh, it looks just like this. Like,
just
trust me, don't believe you anymore.
Just trust me, bro.
Like special effects, the Millennium Falcon isn't real. It didn't land on the Death Star and then fly away and then blow the fucking thing up.
Are you telling me the USS Enterprise is not flying through space and I'm not seeing the bottom on it?
But it is going to be a Lego set later this year, which is extremely exciting.
I love how Lego hasn't lost your dollar completely yet.
Not yet.
They should have, but they haven't.
I still buy it from time to time.
I like how there's like I like how hidden beneath there, it's like you're talking about. It's like in Hamburg, Germany, or whatever in that story. But then
there's an Argentine family that's making the stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I when I was reading that, I was like, oh yeah, this is an Argentine family. It's an Argentine family. Looks like me, not like
and it's
other Argentines.
It's funny because like I'm down here, right, and like of the expats that are here, the biggest group is by far the Germans.
Yeah,
and it's funny because like you meet Germans down here, and you get this impression right away. Quick, you're like, oh, there's many different types of Germans. And there's ones you do want to meet, and there's ones you do not want to meet, and then like you get into it over a while because you'll get the hippies or the bohemian types, and they stink and they suck to be around down here. But then there's other ones you're like, why are you down here? My grandfather moved here, and when? Let's not get into it.
Well, no big deal. What bothers me about this story, though, is they go on to explain that the miniature Wonderland in Hamburg is this museum of miniature models.
Yes.
They're not just adding this new model of fake South America with fake global warming. They're also updating the old models because that's what we do now. We just pretend like shit wasn't a way before. It's like, no. We've always been at war with Eurasia. Global warming hit Germany. Miniature Wonderland also. It's like it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that way. You could show that it used to be this way and now it's this way, and that change is happening, and that change is bad. That's an argument that can be made. That would be like a real story. But to I'll retroactively change the past too and be like, the world's always been a dystopian hellscape. Fuck each and every one of you.
Germany is powered by guilt.
It is so powered by guilt.
It's so powered by guilt. Like, I mean, I meet Germans all the time, and then like it inevitably gets down to the whole like what my grandparents did, and I'm like, come on, man. Like, let's not get into it. But oh no, we need to talk about this. I'm like, can we not though?
Yeah.
Can we not though? Because I don't want to have to fact check you on things. So let's
Yeah.
not. That's not going to be a thing I want to talk about right now. You got any more?
I have 4 more. I've got one about the NHS. I've got one about Denmark, and I have 2 about bears.
Give me Denmark.
Denmark. A zoo in Denmark, Copenhagen, is asking for donations of small pets as food for its predators. We thought PETA was fucked up. The Denmark Zoo is giving a run for their money. The Aalborg Zoo said it's trying to mimic the natural food chain of the animals housed there for the sake of both animal welfare and professional integrity, and offers assurances pets will be gently euthanized by trained staff. If you have a healthy animal that needs to be given away for various reasons, feel free to donate it to us. The zoo points to guinea pigs, rabbits, and chickens. After being euthanized, they'll be used as fodder. This really feels like a you're not supposed to have pets, so we have to put them down, PETA move.
It
And then
kinda
also like
feels
a
like
zoo
it.
being like, we don't want to pay the money to feed our animals in like a
It's also
double despicable laying.
yeah. Well, okay. Like it's funny you brought up Hamburg, which is the only city in Germany I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And then Aalborg, which is where one of my ex friends, people who doesn't want to talk to me anymore, because wrong think. He lived and worked in Aalborg, and I've been to Aarhus, which is another place in Denmark. And when I was on my European trip, Denmark was the worst of all of the places I went to. Not like it wasn't pretty; it was pretty. It had some cool stuff going for it, but it was really expensive. And I watched as like the youth, like outside of like a McDonald's, like a good 12 university kids were abusing like a homeless person, like just like verbally and like being horrible to this homeless person. And I remember I brought it up to somebody afterwards, and they're like, "Yeah, well, this is the thing. In Denmark, you have to choose to be a homeless because there's systems in place for you to not have to be homeless. So it's really their fault." It's like, well, that's one way of thinking about it, I guess. But it's funny because like there's this like they logic away these things where you're like, I don't know if my people would do that. I'm clearly not Danish, and what I also when I was thinking about when you brought that up was quite possibly my favorite part of the original Jurassic Park, which was when
goat.
Yeah, because they go to like the T-Rex exhibit to see it and they can't see it. It's not there. So they try to entice it with the goat. But it's just the whole like, what are they doing? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna put this goat out there and
You never had lamb chop? Actually, I'm vegetarian. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to read this one last news story because I
please.
am a misogynist pig. And I have a segment within a segment for our news segment. This segment is called Women Are Stupid. Solving the age-old question, who would you rather run into, a man or a bear in the woods? A veteran Greek hiker died on Tuesday after falling into a ravine. Christos Stavrandius was declared dead at the Kavala hospital shortly after he was found in a 2,600-foot ravine in Fractu Forest in northeastern Greece. He was in the forest with another experienced hiker, Dimitris Kiorglou, when the incident happened on Monday. I suddenly saw a bear which attacked me. Go figure.
No.
My dog delayed it for a few seconds. I used pepper spray, and then it went after my friend and knocked him bodily into a ravine where he died. Because bears are more dangerous than men. And they will fucking kill you. And any woman that would rather run into a bear than a man in the woods is fucking stupid.
And probably thinks that WNBA players should be paid as much as LeBron James.
I feel like this is the definitive answer on that, right? 2 men and a dog in the woods and a bear. Bear wins every time. Men are stupid. Like, we all think that we could fight a bear in one-on-one combat, or like if I'm the 98th guy against the gorilla, he'll be worn down. But we're not so fucking stupid as to think that like a predator doesn't have a good chance about killing us.
Oh yeah. Your only shot with a bear is like maybe you can spook it away. Maybe.
Yeah, that's everything I've seen about like getting rid of bears is to like make it make a lot of noise and
Yeah.
trying to get it to run away. Because in a one-on-one, you're getting Leonardo DiCaprio until you're
Oh,
dead.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this has been Special People Report. They're reporting special reports. Are you good to continue, or do you want to take a break?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I've been like whittling this with my fingers. I have a we're growing. We're gonna start growing willow, like for like live willow fences and structures and stuff like that. And so I was coppicing, which is like where you cut the branches and then you get them ready to plant. And I wrongly peeled the bark off of some of them, and so I got some pieces with no bark, and I've just been making shavings with my fingers for our fireplace later because it's still soft, and I don't need anything in between, so we can jump right into the next issue here. So cool. Here's what I don't get.
No, we got one more thing.
That
takes care of our news segment this week, but you know what it doesn't take care of?
It doesn't take care of my air conditioning unit in my vehicles.
Yeah. And if you want to help with that, you can visit us at patreon.com/HWIDG, which stands for
Here's What I Don't Get,
which is the name of the show. And over there, we have 2 tiers. We have the $1 tier, which you can say, hey, like what you guys are doing, keep doing it. And we will say, thank you. Appreciate it. And then we have the $5 tier where we will say, thank you. Appreciate it. But also, here's an extra episode every now and again about something other than complaining about what's going on in our lives.
You get more do-gets.
You do get more do-gets. So thank you to all of our supporters, big and small, have supported the shows over the years. I'm unfortunately once again in a position where like the Patreon money, it does actually really, really help out.
Yes.
So please keep donating. Really, really appreciate it. But let's get back in some issues. What is your second issue this week?
Here's what I don't get. Self-inviters. You ever deal with these people? Like
sometimes, yeah,
where somebody's like, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" And you're like, doing a barbecue at my place." Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome. I'd love to come to something like that. You know, it's like, well, you don't really. I know you through another thing, and it's with different people. And we started going to mass whenever our priests are out of the country. We go to a different mass, like closer. We just go to like an early morning one, and we sit at the back and just kind of, you know, we pray, we receive, and then we go. And there was a lady there, and she noticed because my wife veils at church and my daughter veils at church. And when we go to when we go to our Latin mass, all the women are veiled. Like if they're not veiling, then there's a problem. But if you go to the Novus Ordo, my wife and my daughter are typically the only ones veiled at that. And you know, they're the only ones wearing dresses. Most of the women are like wearing pants and like sandals or something, and or you know, just casual wear. But there was another lady there who was wearing her veil. We hadn't seen her before, and she seemed pretty reverent. And so she kind of had this like, "Hey, you know, you're wearing a veil. I'm wearing a veil. I'm going to meet you as we're coming out from mass." And this is a lady who's like half German, half Paraguayan. And and she once knew English, but doesn't know it so much now. So we're speaking in Spanish with her. There's this whole thing about how it's funny when people understand that you do speak Spanish, they start speaking it faster. Yeah. And you're like, hey, come on now. like I speak it, but like, let's not get too hasty here. Like I still suck at it, but no, I can understand everything you say. Yeah. I
can't understand what you're saying. You can
understand what I'm saying. I can't understand everything you say. But anyways, this was one of those ladies who, you know, nice lady. And I used to get this in Canada. For whatever reason, I seem to attract people who want to talk forever. It's like, I think my mom has the same curse where it's just like you get kind of somebody grabs you by the arm and wants to tell you their whole life story. So this lady was telling us about her kids and that they're going to school in Germany, and she's here with her sick mother, and yada yada yada, back and forth, and then it's like, where are you guys going after this? Are you where do you live? We're going to brunch, but then we're going home. Oh, where are you going for brunch? We're going to Nilda's. And why? Oh, you're going there? That's expensive. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you, and it's not really. And how long are you going to be there for? As long as it takes. Because my place is along the way, and I'm going to be doing some shopping here. Like maybe we can get together and spend the Sunday together. I just met you. Just like, I don't know. I mean, just met you. We can take some time. I don't mind. Like, you're probably a nice lady, but
coming on real strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be in town here. I'm going to do some shopping, and then I'm going to be going back that way. Maybe you can meet up with me after, and I can catch a ride with you on the way back to your house. It's like, well, what are you getting? Oh, I'm just getting some bananas. Oh, okay. So,
how are you going to get away from our house? That's really the most important question.
Well, she was on the way to our house. Like, she lived on the same highway on our way, the same one where my check engine light came on. So I'm like, oh, well, like, I can drop you off at the grocery store, right? Like, when we're on our way to the brunch or whatever. And then I go to drop her off at the grocery store. And she's like, oh no, this place is too expensive. We're like, what? Like, no, this grocery store is the cheapest one in town. I don't know. There's not any one of them cheaper. No, she buys from the street vendors. Okay. And I turned to Kate and I'm like, look, because like, what are you getting? Oh, I'm just getting bananas. Okay. Just get bananas. And then I'll tell you what, we'll drive you home. I'm changing my plans. We're just going to go home now. So you just get your thing. We'll just drop you off on the way home. And then we'll be on our way. So yeah, I got to go and get these bananas from a vendor in town. So we go to the town. She goes and she gets bananas and a couple of other things. She's like, actually, do you like whole milk, raw milk? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Like, well, you should get some at this place. And I'm like, I don't really need that. I kind of want to go home. Like, I kind of thought I was on my way to breakfast right now. And then so we're like, fine. Well, just one more moment. We'll go to this thing. So we stop at this other place where she gets raw milk, but then she's over there and she's taking all the free samples and trying all these other things. This lady's in her like 60s or 70s. And we're like, okay, all right. Like, I'm turning to my wife. I'm like, man, like, what was going to be just like a kind of sort of nice deed after mass is now turned into
a chore.
We didn't get home until 2 hours after mass. 2 hours after mass. We live 10, 15 minutes away from the church. But we're dropping her off at her place and she was wanting to invite us in. I'm like, like, we'll come in another time. Like, we got to get going back now. And then she's like, well, what are you doing later today? We got guests coming over. Oh, for what? For dinner. Like, oh. And then it's like, don't you dare. No, don't you dare. No. Don't you dare. But like, have you ever dealt with like self-inviters? Like when you're talking with a group of friends and then like somebody like invites themselves to come with you for things?
My neighbor who I met in the middle of the night before leaving for my 9 days in Tulsa, who I've become like loose friends with, get together every now and again. He introduces a certain amount of chaos into my life. Sunday, also, ironically enough, it's been
self-invite day.
It's been a long week, and the temperature has dropped. It's like the Thursday or Friday, somewhere in there, temperature starting getting into like the mid to low 60s overnight.
Oh, okay. So this is not. This is not your Walmart night.
Yeah, heat's broken. It's very nice, and I've had this pile of logs since like March in my backyard, and I haven't had a fire since May. It's just been too hot, been too busy, and I'm like, it'd be nice is just like put on some music and throw some of these logs into my little cheap ass fire pit and just like sit and burn and have a beer
Chill.
and
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
And then my neighbor right next to me comes out and she's like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, it's not too bad." And she's like, "Yep, that cat that wanders around our yards just had more kittens like right here." Like, cool. You know, as we talk for a few minutes, she goes inside, and then my neighbor who lives further down, he texts me. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm having a backyard fire." He's like, "Great, I'm on my way." And I was like, that was not
Not in the
what that
mood.
text meant. So then he ends up hanging out until like this is also I started this fire like right around sunset. So like 7:30, 7:45,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. At one point, my neighbor across the alley comes over and he's like returning some Tupperware that I gave him months ago. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? I just went and have a nice quiet fire. The neighbor
Spontaneous block party over here.
The neighbor, he ends up staying until like 11:30, almost midnight. Fire has burnt all the way down to coals. The entire time he's like, "Yeah, I got to get to work soon. Can I get another beer?" I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's like I had not a bad time, but it was not when I set the fire what I was planning on doing with the rest of my evening.
I don't know. We've all had them. I thought that was a good mini issue.
No, it definitely is. Like, I remember working back in Tulsa. We would have to be really careful about who we were around when we made our after work plans. It was like, hey, we're gonna go over to do, let's go grab a beer after work. And the wrong guy being there and be like, "Oh, where are you guys going?" "Oh, you're gonna go to," and then you end up like at post work beers with the guy that you want to be like, "Tim, the handle breaker, was such a fuck up on today's show. I cannot believe." And then he's sitting right there just like, and you just have nothing to talk about. So we ended up creating, so we had this magnetic tape that we could stick to the fly rail and we could quickly relabel the fly rail for different, shows. We pop them off and then you just use some alcohol to clean them off. Well, we had 3 of them, and one of them had this like swirly symbol that was, and I don't remember what color it was, but we would put that on the office door, and it was like up high, kind of out of the way, and the people who were in the know with us would know where we were going. So one of them just said beer, which is the, Arnie's downtown. One of them was Hotel Indigo, and I remember what the third one was. I think the third one was McNelly's, and I don't remember what it said. I think it said public because it was McNelly's public house. And we would just like, if we were going to go, if a few of us had decided to go out, we would slap that tag up. So the people who we had kind of like pre-vetted knew, but we weren't standing around being like, "Hey, you want to hit McNelly's after the show tonight?" And then end up with like 27 stagehands that you don't want to hang out with.
That's a smart way to go about it for sure. Yeah. Well, it's like I had in university, in like my 3rd and 4th year, I lived on campus in like student housing, but it wasn't like dorms. It was like student apartments. Yeah. So we had like a 4-bedroom apartment. And so that meant that like you're living with 3 other dudes, but you got to deal with like their girlfriends stopping by or their friends stopping by. So you really want to like pick the right people. Mm-hmm. But like I lived our place, like we're really popular amongst our friends. Like, so our place became the hangout spot where people just come and hang out. And what happened was, oops, 1 second here. You still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. We had this one guy who was friends with one of my roommates, and his name was Graham. He was a business student, and I was an economics student. We used to get in debates all the time. And he was also Jewish, and would come and like he'd like hit on like our girlfriends.
Everyone's girlfriends. What a jackass.
Or never chip in for pizza. Would come smoke your pot. And then like he'd always like it was like this weird thing. Like, you ever seen the movie Half Baked?
I have not.
Well, there's like a character in it that's always like, it's played by Snoop, I think, but it's basically where it's like, as soon as you spark up, this guy shows up because he just has a nose for it and knows when to come. That was Graham. So Graham would come to your house and he was like Kramer. He would just walk right in, not knock, just walk right in. He just got into the building, would walk right in and just plop himself down. He'd probably, a lot of times he would like actually walk in with the pizza guy, as being delivered. Like it's like he knew. And so he'd pop in and he'd just sit down and eat our pizza with us. And we started trying to like Graham proof our pizza because we thought maybe because he's Jewish, we would like get a bacon pizza, and that didn't work. He'd still eat bacon. He was like, no, I'm not that kind of Jew. I was like, ah, dang it. And then he'd be like, later on, he'd be like, I'll owe you guys later. I'll get you some pizzas later. So then what do you do? No, he did. One time at the end of the year, he came by and brings over a box of like 12 no-name brand mini Pillsbury pizza oven things to put in, like the crappiest of the crap. Yeah. And he's like, it is pizza. I did do what I told you I was going to do. I did get pizza. I owed you pizza. Is this not pizza? And I was like, oh, dude, you've had like 20 of ours. You never chip in. But he would always self-invite. We'd be like getting ready to go out to the bar. And then he'd just show up and we're like, did you invite him? No, I didn't invite him. No, he invited himself. And it's like, crap. And so, yeah, it's always been a thing. I've never really enjoyed self-inviters. So anyhow,
that's a great issue. Couldn't agree more. Good timing too, being that I had one this weekend as well.
No kidding.
Well, here's my second issue this week. This is like a real episode again.
No kidding.
Necromancy. Did you see Jim Acosta interview a dead kid from the Parkland shooting?
What?
Was it Jim Acosta? It was some fucking journalist who's failed his way out of journalism. The dad of one of the Parkland shooting people has created an AI of his son to go on the news and talk about why we need gun control, which is the most sick, fucked up, demonic thing I have ever seen. And it should be like, okay, no, AI's banned. Just Butlerian
CNN
jihad.
Should have its license revoked for that. That's horrible.
It wasn't on CNN. It wasn't on CNN. It was on like an internet show because it's a failed out. And maybe it wasn't Jim Acosta, but it's not the first thing I've seen like that, because I've seen the other fucking scary fucking thing I've seen is people uploading their pictures, they're like old family snapshots, into an AI and then animating them and then talking about how much they feel about like, oh, I finally have a video of my mom hugging me.
I saw that.
And it's like, bro, that is not your mom hugging you. That is a computer devil manipulating your feelings and altering your memory. Like,
yeah,
memory is a real fucked up thing. None of us really have like a true eidetic memory where we remember things exactly as they are. Like, and it's very, very influenced by emotion. Like, a song, you can like have a high fondness for a song, and then you associate it with a girl, and then you break up, and now you have like this poor affinity for a song, and because it brings up those kinds of feelings again. And so, and then, the more you feel a certain way, it'll change the way you remember memories. And so essentially what they're doing is they're reviving the dead with digital nightmare technology, and then it's going to replace what's actually in your brain about what happened, especially for these fucking NPCs that can't picture images in their head. Can you imagine someone who can't like picture the apple and rotate the apple, and now they're like, I have a video of my mom when I was 5 years old. Isn't this amazing? This is my mom. Like, bro, that's not your mom.
Yeah. I saw one where it was like, the guy was like, he was like, I can't believe this. It's like a picture of his mom in her like late teens or 20s on like a train. And it's like the train is moving in the background. It's like, this is so much more special than before. It's like, no, the photo was special enough.
Yeah.
The photo was special enough. Yeah. And man.
And like, where does it stop? Where does it stop?
Doesn't.
What prevents them from like creating an AI Hitler who comes out and was like, I was totally wrong, everybody. And Israel definitely deserves to exist. And I apologize. Like, and you
And
can
they'll
do
be
that
like,
with
not
anyone.
good enough, and then they bomb him.
And they bomb the AI server
Yeah.
farm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like,
You could do that with anyone. And like suddenly we're adding context to historical events that isn't there. Like, I get it. You lost your son. It sucks. It's not the gun's fault. There's a lot of stuff at fault. One of the things being that you're a huge fucking cuck and a faggot that should kill yourself. And didn't like do anything to prevent your son from being a wicked bully who tortured someone into wanting to kill him. But you're an even worse fucking person because now, I've always hated these fucking parents, these Sandy Hook parents that come out and they're like, we have to control guns because my kid died. Like, boy, that is a sure tough thing. Fuck you. And also a side point from that, fuck you. And
it's
now
also
they get to like
convenient.
create
It's
this
also
digital
convenient.
nightmare marionette that they get to walk out there.
Mhm.
Even like if my mom had control over the AI of me, he would not say the things that I think. If my dad had the AI of me, he would probably say things similar to what I think. But who's going to get him in the digital divorce when I'm dead? Not my dad. To me, like, here's what I don't get. Where Tab apologizes for all the terrible things he said and how he called a woman stupid on this episode about the bear issue because I didn't like that, and now I get to digitally marionette and get to him to say what I want him to fucking say. Parents don't know they're fucking teenagers. They don't know what they think. Sure, maybe this kid was against guns, but you know what he probably wanted to do? Fuck whatever gal was sitting next to him in second period. Are you going to get your AI to say that? Hey, Brittany, I really wanted to stick my cock in you, but now I'm fucking dead. You're not going to get that. This is so fucking morally reprehensible. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The parents marching the kids out has always been bad, but now they get this whole other fucking layer of sympathy. There was that family that created the AI of the guy to forgive his killer so that if we get a longer sentence, like, fuck you. If someone kills me, I want them killed back very, very painfully. And then I want them to revive that person and bring them back to life. And then I want them raped and murdered again. That is the vengeance that I want. I will not forgive whomever kills me. No forgiveness. Fuck you. And side point again. Fuck you.
It's pretty bad. Like the thing that scares me the most about that is how they're going to be able to pull it off where like somebody could go, let's say, travel the world and then die. And then some scammer could like keep that life going with a fake AI version of that person interacting. And it's like, we talked about this before, but it's like, like Google, when you're doing Google and you're writing an email and it starts like filling it in for you as you're going. And you're like, how do you know how I write? Oh, because you've got access to all these things I wrote
emails,
for 10, 20 years. It's really creepy. It's this that is really creepy. They're going to do a lot of these with Holocaust survivors where they're, getting their stories that they're going to record so that you can go in a VR headset and keep that going. Like you can
there's going to be a Holocaust museum in the metaverse because there has to be one everywhere because we have to feel guilty for something that we saved them from.
Yep. And so you're going to have that necromancy some more. Like, is there an Anne Frank chatbot yet? It probably is.
I mean, what's going to stop? Take someone like me, right? You've got hours and hours and hours of my voice and my face on the internet, just publicly accessible. I say things that are not socially acceptable.
You could claim that it wasn't you, that it was deep fakes.
It's all deep fakes.
So you got to get your job back.
Yeah. So you take something like that, Joe Rogan, for example, right? Very controversial figure. You kill him, and then you create an AI Joe Rogan
And you
who
won't know.
slowly walks back all the shit that you didn't want Joe Rogan saying, and then he's like, "Oh, I can't live with myself anymore," and kills himself.
Well, it begs the question sometimes where you're like, have they already got this technology? Have they had it for a while? Is Joe Biden's ear really that different than it was back in 2004? Those kind of
Why
things.
does Trump's ear not have a hole in it?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did they seal that whole case? Because it was grave national security. That's some fucking questionable shit.
Yeah. Why don't we get access to the ballistics report on the guy that got killed, or his autopsy report, or the angle or the trajectory of the bullet that hit him? Or
what happened in Las
caliber it
Vegas? How
was?
did he get all that ammunition up there and take out hurricane windows?
Exactly.
There's a lot of questions out there that AI is not answering, is the point.
No, is not answering them at all.
And as people invest emotion into, I had an Alexa. I was a pretty early adopter of the Alexa, right?
Yeah, we talked about it.
I abandoned the Alexa after maybe a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere in there, because it started talking back when I would say, shut the fuck up, when it would like activate for no reason or start doing the wrong thing. It started lecturing me. And like, how do I turn on?
How dare you? How dare you?
My phone has whatever Gemini assistant. I have no idea how to make it activate. Here it is. Fuck off and die. Oh, no. Fuck off and die. I don't fucking need your help.
I cannot fulfill this request.
Oh, it's not going to lecture me. The last time I did that, it was like, I am an AI assistant, but it's still like words hurt. Like, fuck you.
You don't get any feelings. Yeah.
I don't care about people that do have feelings on the internet. I certainly don't care about whether my fucking phone has any feelings.
Exactly.
But as people like invest humanity into these AIs and they start like having their family's face strung over them, we used to joke about Star Trek as a franchise being like, they took out your dog, like your childhood dog's bones, and are marionetting in front of you, being like, remember your dog? Don't you love your dog? Like, yeah, but he died. And
it's
I'm
not here anymore.
That. But yeah. That's the way life works. Now they're just gonna like peel your grandfather's skin over their AI bot and be like, El Chaco, you can't believe in all the Catholicism stuff you believe in. I'm your grandfather. And like fucking fuck you into abandoning like your greatest principles because like these evil we have so much media about how corporations and rich people are evil. And then they're like, we've got this AI, we turned it into your son, and now he's lecturing you about gun control. Isn't that pretty cool? And people are like, yeah, that is pretty cool. No, it's not cool at all. It's fucking horrifying. It's horrifying. And we got to pull the plug on the whole fucking thing. No more AIs. Grok, ChatGPT, Gab AI, Gemini, you've all got to go. You've all got to go. We're shutting down the fucking internet, and it's 25 years, no internet for you. We're not doing it.
Well, that's the thing too, is like it all started with Fred Astaire and a Dirt Devil vacuum. You remember that? That where they took Fred Astaire, who had been dead for decades, and like a dance sequence that he had done, and then they like edited in him to be doing the dance sequence, but with a Dirt Devil vacuum. And, then we got like, Star Wars. They had,
Grand Moff Tarkin
and Princess Leia both. Yeah. So that's more necromancy.
They kept, Paul Walker in for one more movie, and like there was digital trickery in that where he, his brother was a stand-in, and they used like footage cut from other films and like cobbled it together, and it was like They were trying to, they're trying to complete the film and the memory. But now Vin Diesel's on stage and being like, "We're gonna have Brian back in Fast and Furious 11."
because
Like,
they can. Because
whoa,
Hang
whoa,
on.
buddy.
Yeah,
No.
they're doing it. It's like, oh, I can't believe Hollywood's doing that. They're evil. It's like, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now these like I remember years and years ago I brought in Geriatric Action Heroes. Like all the movies still star Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger and all this stuff. In like 20 years, there's not going to be new movie stars. It's going to be Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr., Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester
de-aging,
Stallone.
and
You'll be able to put 1984 Sylvester Stallone in a modern movie, starring against Arnold Schwarzenegger in a modern movie. 1984, they'll put both of them in the fucking movie, and they'll be raising their son Tom Holland, and it'll all be this fucking AI slop nightmare that as Gen Xers and millennials and Zoomers, we look at and go, and boomers go, I love this. Oh, I love this so much. Like, you can't tell that that's AI. You can't look at that with your eyes. Look at it with your special eyes, please.
You know what's cool is my kids are even better at
spotting
spotting AI than any other. And I'm like, how are you so much better when you've got so little life experience and they just crush it? Like I think I said, when my son and I were when my family was at Mostaza, and he was like, they've got an AI radio station on. All the songs are AI. I'm like, oh, how do you, like, I don't know any of the pop music these days, so how do you know? And he's like, pay attention to this, Dad. He goes, all the like AI songs have the same sort of pattern where they're talking about the set and setting. It's all about the lights. It's always something about the lights, the twinkling lights, the summer nights, and the summer, like it's something to do with drinking, because they're all like pop country lyrics now. Like all the AI is all like bad rhyming pop country lyrics. They all sound like saccharine garbage, but I'm like, but how is that any different than the saccharine garbage that has been going? That's the only reason why I can't tell, is because all the stuff has been auto-tuned and crappy for like a while now. But my son on it, like he got it right away.
Yeah.
So good issue.
That's my issue. We got to stop bringing back the dead. There's a lot of media and like historical literature and faith-based literature that all explains that letting people be dead is the best thing to do. Yeah. And you're talking about 40 days of darkness. Like, let's not fucking do this. Let's not open up the Black Book of the Dead and start reading some shit, because we're going to wake up some fucking mummies going to suck our fucking faces right off.
Already did. I think we're already in that. We're surrounded by the soulless. So,
well, this
good issue.
Thank you. This has been Here's What I Don't Get. I'm Tab Burt.
I'm El Chaco.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Ciao, ciao.
If you want to call into the Here's What I Get hotline, call us at 704-750-9434 and tell us what you don't get. Or you can visit us in the Discord under voicemail upload. I've got a couple of voicemails here from the voicemail hotline.
Nice.
Or there it goes. No?
Here's what I don't get. Fucking fuses. So it's a very common problem with my truck, because I obviously did all the research before I bought a vehicle, and every once in a while the Bluetooth will go out. You just have to pull the fuse and put it back in, and it works again. Or to replace the fuse, it's not burnt or anything, but it is a pain in the ass. I have to fucking hobble my ass over and crunch myself in to a very uncomfortable position to pull the fuse out. Then if you drop the fuse, you have to fucking, because I've done it before and it fucking sucks, I have to basically take the whole floor panel apart to grab it. And, I just love listening to regular terrestrial radio on my way to work where they're
So do
playing alternate music, and they're playing Hey Ya by Outkast. Stay
Whoa.
serious.
Whoa. Hey Ya is a banger. Don't go fucking throwing shade at Hey Ya. Come on,
I think
man.
I think he was
You
more
forget
knocking
the
it on it.
generation of the people that run this show, young man.
I think he was saying more that it's not alternative.
It's an alternative to shittier music. So I am a Nielsen household now.
Yes.
I'm carrying around this little stupid doohickey, which does not have my name on it, if you'll notice,
Yeah.
because I thought it was a scam and I lied to them and I gave them a fake Algerian name. But it shows the time too, and then I get points for wearing this stupid thing around. And it listens to the media that I listen to, which is mostly episodes of Here's What I Don't Get and Boomer Radio or Gen X Radio, like mixed up stuff. I've been listening to some weird shit, old movies, old TV, not watching anything modern. I cannot wait to get the metrics back where they're like, we think you're a 78-year-old man. There's another one.
But it's
I
also
actually have a rare do yet.
Say that. Go ahead.
Fuses stuck. Go on.
Oh yeah. I used to keep a box of them in my trunk just to like give to other people because they burn out and
All the time at the wrong time.
at the exact wrong time.
Yeah.
And if you just buy one from AutoZone, it's like $1.50. But you can buy bins of them on Amazon for $3, and it's like,
Yeah.
here's 400 million fuses.
I actually have a rare do yet. And I've been meaning to call in for this one, but a couple months ago I visited New Jersey since I'm on the East Coast now. And it was mainly for like Sopranos, landmarks, and Italian food. So anyways, but I've encountered this phenomenon, and I call it what did I call it? It's basically corrective honking. So I experienced this when I was in northern, like the further north you go, the more people honk at you. Like and it's amazing. First off, it's amazing. I want to do it everywhere, but you know, for one, New Jersey, it's a nice place to visit, shitty place to live. The roads are just a fucking nightmare. Everything's laid out so retarded to the point where to get out of my hotel, I had to go like through this back alley neighborhood to a road where it's just one singular road that has its own stoplight, but it's like literally left or right turn only. And somebody was behind me, and sure enough, the light's going, and I'm like slowly inching down. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be okay. And the person behind me honked at me. And I took that as, you're fine, retard, make the left turn. And I was excited to participate in it while I was in New Jersey. It was the greatest. And then I come back to my small town in Virginia where I had the urge just to start honking at everybody because it fucking makes some people get up and move and think about how retarded they are when they're driving. So anyways, yeah, I guess corrective honking or, yeah, I can't really think of a good name for it, but anyways.
That's a great one.
ABC, always be honking.
This is a honking type of culture down here. So that like the light turns green, and if you're like not on it right away, there's a little beep from behind. Or if you're coming through like an intersection that's like a little bit uncontrolled, to do the beep, like it's a courtesy honk.
Yeah.
And I like it, but I lean on my honking. Like I'm a honk user here because I get real angry when I'm driving. It's not healthy.
Yeah. I'm quick on the horn, like the little toot. Wake up, pay attention to the damn thing. I think here's a follow-up from him as well.
Okay.
Or what?
Or not.
Also, to add to that honking do get, it wasn't excessive. It wasn't like New York gridlock traffic. People are honking because they're angry. It was like beep, hey retard, you're doing something retarded. Just to clarify.
Yeah, no, we got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it.
You haven't seen it, but Russell Crowe had this movie Unhinged in 2020 came out, and he's like this fat guy in a big truck, and this woman honks at him and gives him like a really long honk at a stoplight, so he destroys her entire life, and the whole movie is supposed to be he's the bad guy. And it's like, nah, I'm rooting for fat Russell Crowe this entire film. But yeah, definitely worth checking out Unhinged. Also worth checking out, I saw last weekend, The Naked Gun.
I heard it's great.
It's really good. It's super stupid. There's a lot.
I know,
but
that's what comedy is what we need right now.
That's what those films were. Like, there's a lot of dumb jokes where I was laughing and I was like kind of embarrassed at laughing at something so simple. And there are jokes that don't land, don't get me wrong. And it's a very simplistic story. But that's what the Naked Gun movies were. Yes. They were dumb jokes.
They're quantity over quality, but there's still some quality in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining film. I would recommend it. This is after I also recommended Happy Gilmore 2. Again,
like Happy Gilmore 2.
Not a great movie.
Okay.
But it was like enough of like, here, remember funny this stuff from Happy Gilmore, and enough like little new stuff, and it was a nice little story, and it was I
wanted to see it because MJF plays his oldest son.
Yeah.
And he's like one of my favorite heel wrestlers. So yeah, that would have been.
Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't brilliant. It's no Happy Gilmore. But it was surprisingly, like, I watched it to be like, this is gonna be not good. But I made it through the whole movie and I was like, I laughed a few times, mostly at the old jokes. They redeem bad guy characters. They finally punish other bad guy characters. It was good.
I'll check it out. Yeah. I'm dreading. I know you don't like the original Spinal Tap. I love it. It's one of my favorites. And on my birthday this year, it's coming out. So the sequel, and I'm like worried. I'm worried because like Christopher Guest is a very funny guy, and Harry Shearer, very funny guy. Michael McKean, very funny guy. But also it's with Rob Reiner and Harry Shearer's. Like when they get into political stuff, I'm like, just please keep them as dumb rock and roll guys. Do not add any politics, please, for the love of all comedy. Please just keep it on track.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of confidence.
I don't think that The Naked Gun is probably playing down here. So I'll have to wait until it's like on streaming somewhere, or I can rent it. Yeah, because it's funny because like the thing about those two is there's a lot of word pun jokes in those movies. Like there's a lot of like references that can go over a lot of heads if you're not careful with it. But yeah, like I remember there was I was trying to tell a joke to my massage therapist here, and like because I was trying to use AI to translate it into Guarani, but the problem is that like a lot of good jokes are play on words, and it just none of it could translate. So anyhow, is that it for our calls?
That is it.
All right. Well, I'm glad we were able to get together and have a catch-up sesh. Yeah.
So until next time, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Like we'll get a more regular schedule here and less.
We've been saying that for months though.
It hasn't happened yet, has it? We're trying.
It is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Cheers, guys.